3, 2, 1, let's go! Hi everybody and welcome to another exciting edition of Boring JavaScript. I'm your host, the Virtuoid, aka Mike Smith, and today we're going to be talking about the local storage object. Now, if you're in Node, you can't use local storage. It's only available for the browser. So if you're in a browser environment, you're in the right spot. What exactly is local storage? Well, it's exactly what the name implies, local storage. You provided a key value pair. Both of them have to be strings. The key needs to be a string and the value needs to be a string. And then you can store that variable into the local storage. That variable, or the data for that variable, for that key, will be available to you later on in your application, later on that day, later on the next year if necessary. It is always available inside the browser until your application physically deletes it. And so what we're going to be covering today is the local storage to show you how to set items into the local storage, how to remove them, how to clear them out, and all that. Now, for those of you who are here for session storage, session storage works the exact same way as local storage, but there's a huge difference between the two. While local storage will always save the key value pairs until your application deletes them, session storage will lose it all once your session closes. For example, bring up Facebook inside of a tab. It will have both local and session storage key value pairs. When you close that tab, all the session storage key value pairs disappear, but the local ones are still there so that Facebook can then remember them and keep serving you ads like you won't believe. So let's get at it and let me show you how local storage and session storage works. Now first we're going to take a look at the two most common methods used on both local storage and session storage, and that is getItem and setItem. And they do exactly what they say they do. GetItem gets a key value from the local storage. SetItem will set a key to the local storage. So SetItem, you'll pass it two arguments, the key and the value, while GetItem, you just pass it the key. So I've got a little HTML file here, a little web page to show you how everything works. The web page itself is real simple. I've got a section here where I'm going to be typing in the key and typing in the value, and then I'm going to click on the submit button to be able to submit the information. That will set the local storage value, and then it will display that information that you've typed in here in that section, within that section there. And then it's going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to then click on this button here, click here to check, and when I click here to check, it's going to change the text here of this button to the value that you have set inside the local storage. So let's take a look at the JavaScript that will do that. And don't worry about all this kind of fun stuff up there. This is just pointers to all the different IDs in there. The real key here is the two routines that you see on the screen now. Process submit is going to process the submit button when I click on it, while process check will process the little check, the status when I click on that button. Here is the set item method, and it's real simple. It takes two arguments. The first one is the key, and the second one is the value. Can't be any easier. The key is retrieved from the key input box. The value is retrieved from the value input box. So they're both going to be strings automatically, so that satisfies that. And then I'm just going to set the text content of the key value and the value, that's interesting, into that little results section. I'm going to show the results section up. So that's real simple. That shows you how to do the set item. So that will actually set the item. Now, how do we know it actually set it? Well, what we're going to do here in the process check function is we're going to use the getItem method. And the getItem method takes one argument, and that is the key. And so in this case, I'm getting the value of the key input field that I had on the input string there. Once I get the getItem, it will return to me the value that is associated with that key, and that key is returned as undefined if the key is not there. My key is going to be there, it's no big deal. And then I'm just going to change the text of the check button itself. So let's flip over to our browser. Here's our page. I'm just going to do a Control F5 here just to kind of get everything nice and pretty here. Here's the key. We're going to call the key cat. We're going to enter the value. The value is going to be fluffy. And then we're going to click on set item. I'm just going to hit enter because I'm on the keyboard here. And It worked like a champ. It got the word cat and it got the word fluffy. But are we absolutely certain that it did it? Well, remember now, if we click here to check, it should change the text within click here to check button to the value of what is inside here. So let's click here. It should turn to fluffy, and yes, it did. That means it actually worked. Are we certain it worked? Yeah, let's change this to dog, and we'll change this to Rover. We hit set item, and we'll just click on fluffy here again. Yep, it's Rover. So this shows you how to be able to use both the set item and the get item. Set item takes two arguments, the key and the value, and that sets that key and value inside local storage. The get item takes the key and that retrieves that value from the local storage. And again, like I said, their session storage works the exact same way as local storage. So that shows you how to do the get and the set items. And honestly, that's pretty much it. But I do want to show you a couple more things you can do with the local storage. How to remove individual items, how to loop through and grab different items, and how to clear the whole shooting match out at one time. That's coming up next. And so you know about get item and set item. Let's take a look at three more: remove item, clear, and keep. Now I have an HTML file that will allow me to show you all three of those. The first one here is the generate button. And when I click on generate, it's going to generate 10 random entries to put into the local storage, 10 random keys and 10 random values to go with those random keys. Then it will display them. The random key part will use the set item. The display will show you how to use the key and the get items to be able to list out all the different items within the local storage. The second part here allows me to be able to input or type in a key and then click on the remove button, and that will remove a specific key from the local storage. And for that, we'll be using the remove item method. And then finally, I've got a button called clear all that will use the clear method to wipe the whole shooting match out. So let's take a look at our JavaScript file and show you how that's done. No big deal here. First of all, when I click on generate list, this function here is going to get executed when I click on the generate list button. And it's just going to go through 10 different items, get a random key and get a random value. I'm going to show you those routines, no big deal here. But here I'm using the set item to be able to set the value to a particular key. And like I said in the previous video, that sets the key value into the local storage. And again, both key and value are going to be strings. Then it's going to call display list, and that's going to display it on the screen. So let me show you display list real quick. Because in display list, I'm getting the length of the storage length itself, and I'm just going to do a simple for loop here to go through from item 0 to item storage length -1, basically. And this is where I use the key method. Now the key method allows you to be able to get a certain item based upon its index within the list of this local storage that you have created. The local storage is, as you append new entries, it just appends it one at a time. And so this is a way you can sit there and figure out what all your keys are. And in this particular case here, I am getting the key from the index of I. That will give me the actual key name. And so then I'm using get item to be able to retrieve that item. And of course, we covered get item earlier, so you don't really need to know that. And then I'm just doing a simple little appending the li to the ul and blah-de-da-de-da-de-da. So that takes care of the display list, which uses the key, and the generate list, which uses this set item. We'll see how it works real quick. Let's take a quick look at that. So let's flip back over to our browser, and we click on generate random key values, and boom, there they are. Those are my random keys and the values that go with it. Couldn't be any simpler. So again, key allows you to iterate through all the different keys that you have within your local storage or session storage to get the different items or get different keys, and then you can use get item to get that particular key. So now what is happening with this remove one? Let's take a quick look at that. So let's flip back over to our code. When I click on remove item, I first get, and this is the remove item function here, by the way, I first get the value in the input box, and then I'm using get item to find the item in the local storage. If the item isn't there, then I don't do anything, but if the item is there, I can then call the remove item to be able to remove a particular item. And it takes one argument, and that one argument is the key in which you're searching for. And remove item will remove that item from the key. And so what I'm doing here is I'm removing the item and then displaying the list. So what we should expect is if we type in something within the remove that it's a key, it should remove it from the list. Let's find out if it works. Let's go back to our code here, and we'll pick PM here. We'll get rid of PM. So I go to the text box, I type in PM, and I click on remove. Sure enough, it disappeared. How about VRI? Let's type in VRI and let's see if that gets rid of it. VRI. Yep, got rid of that one too. So remove item will eliminate items out of your local storage automatically so that it gets rid of them. Basically, it says exactly what it does. So what does the clear all do? Well, the clear all gets rid of everything, and that's a real simple method. So let's flip back over to our code here. Here is the information, here is the data for the clear all, and this is the clear method itself. And the clear method simply does what it says. It clears out all of the values out of the local storage. So I expect once I click on the clear button for it to display the list and that list to be completely blank. You want to see if it works? Of course you do. What do you expect is going to happen? Well, if I click on clear all, boom, it's gone. There is nothing there. So if I click on PM again for remove and click on remove, absolutely nothing's going to happen because nothing is there. So that's the three different methods three additional methods besides get item and set item that you can use. Remove item gets rid of an item. Key allows you to iterate through all the different keys within your local storage, and clear wipes every one of them out. And that's all there is for local storage and session storage. I hope you enjoyed our video. Hope I didn't bore you to death. Please view all of our videos at www.boringjavascript.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel or check out everything we do at www.thevirtualvoid.com. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you later.